graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
I sense a disturbance in the force. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Go to iTunes now and subscribe. For Android users, we are available on the Stitcher app for Google. Now go and listen. Before you get on my dark side.
I think George Lucas gonna sue somebody.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And this is Jennifer.
And we're coming to you guys almost live from Comics Etc., downtown Rochester, New York, 1115 Main Street. And we just want to say hi to the people back here. Hello. Hi. Are you guys looking for back issues or what's going on?
We're just sort of looking.
Oh, okay.
And excited about the new placement.
Oh, yeah. So have you been there when they were in the other in the Village Gate Mall? Oh, okay. Yeah, they have. I really love this layout. And when they moved over, I asked Andy. I was like, "Is there any way we could use the back room to record our show?" And you know, it's huge back here. They got plenty of space to do whatever they need to do. But I mean, the back issues. I'm a comic guy. You know, I got stuff from like '83. Like, look, you know, I was looking for stuff like old Teen Titans and stuff like that. You know, I know it sounds weird. I'm kind of like a fan of Steel, the one that Shaquille O'Neal made the movie about. But I mean, of course, the movie was kind of like a joke. But I like, you know, I get I get old Steel comics, so they have a great selection here. And yeah, so. Right now we're recording a podcast. It's basically an internet radio show. It's like when people listen to, like, people have their iPods. That's how it originally got famous. And then you could download radio shows and basically, you know, it's like, I think, you know, how many times can you hear the same 15 songs on your iPod anyway? You know, so it's kind of like internet radio shows. And this is Jen. She's my girlfriend.
Hello, how are you?
My usual.
Sorry?
You have the microphone too. I was like,
Yeah. Hi.
And our usual co-host Kristen unfortunately couldn't be here today. And Kristen is sort of like the pop culture, reality TV junkie, and I'm the comic book nerd. So it's kind of like us coming together. Like it's like a
great podcast.
yeah,
It is.
from all different kinds of angles. And so you know. Like I said, this is actually our first. You're part of history. Our first show.
Well, I'm going to tell you, since it's your first one, and this is my first time at, we're always at Village Gate, and this is the first time here. This comic book store is awesome. It's roomier, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you can come in and do this here because that's what people need to.
Yeah, a little
Comics going
community. Because these tables back here, I believe the guys are going to use it to, like, when they play the card games and the role playing games and stuff like that. So when I was asking Andy, I was like, I wouldn't dare ask for a Friday or Saturday to record because I know those are like busy days. But I was like, how's Monday sound? Oh, Monday's fine, come on in. But I'm glad you guys are here, and that's and your names?
Thank you.
Oh, you don't want
First
to? Okay,
names or-
no,
Chris.
Barbara Chris. Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Good luck with your podcast.
thank you.
It's a great idea. And it's
Yeah.
a great story. I hope-
Two strangers, one podcast.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One podcast.
Have you guys ever followed down the
I haven't seen any of the new season, and I heard it just ended, and all my friends on Facebook are like, "Oh my god, it's awesome!"
Our daughters we got a 13-year-old and 16-year-old just love.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Oh,
Crazy
excellent.
about it. And then we were, our daughters have all the like T-shirts and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
at the Lilac Festival,
Uh-huh.
13-year-old. I don't think you know this. No. So we were walking, and some other girl, like a 13-year-old, came up out of nowhere and said, "Oh, you like Doctor Who?" And she was telling us when the season ended. And whatnot. But anyway, there might be a real audience if you talk about Doctor Who.
Oh yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Kids love it.
Now, do you watch with them, or
I catch it every now and then. Yeah.
are you a Matt Smith fan? Because I haven't. I'm sort of. Yeah, the latest one. I'm not.
All straight. I get all confused.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to figure out. That's where
My 13-year-old likes that one. My 16-year-old likes
the older.
The
2 ago.
the Chris Eccleston.
This one.
This guy.
Oh, yeah. There's Chris Eccleston and the one from Harry. Oh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Yeah, if you said I would recognize it. 16-year-old loves him.
Yeah, I'm sort of a. No, I can't believe. Yeah, the guy he was in the Harry Potter movies.
He had a little.
Yeah, and then me and my friends were talking about he would have made a great Riddler if they ever did that in the new Batman movies.
Yeah.
I think he would have been perfect. And it's on the tip of my tongue, and I should look it up while I'm here. But
It's probably in there.
David Tennant. David Tennant. There we go. Thank you. As soon as he said the first name, that was. Yeah, I'm a David Tennant man. I mean, Matt Smith. I haven't I haven't latched onto that one yet, but it's just. I'm pretty sure if I haven't seen any of the seasons, so because I recently moved and I don't have cable right now, so it's like,
The girls started watching it like on Netflix. They just
pick it
watched
up on
one
Netflix.
after the other after the other.
That's how they got hooked on it.
oh yeah, that's. And then like you have to tell. Did you tell them this exists? When I was a kid.
I had the scarf when I was a kid.
Yeah, growing up. I'm 35, so it was like the episodes, like it was always like PBS Friday nights, where it was like when PBS gave all like the BBC programming, so it was like, and it was all like the nerdy stuff. It was Monty Python and Doctor Who and I'm trying to remember the other shows, Keeping Up Appearances, Faulty Towers, that was like, it was always like on a Friday night, and I hate to say it, but Friday night is like for the guys that aren't going out. Or the parents that are stuck home, and that was and that's why all the best shows are like Friday night. Firefly was Friday nights. Fringe. All the F shows.
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
Sci-Fridays.
Which is her
absolutely.
thing. That's like
that was my thing. It's like my only thing though, with like this whole type of. Oh, it was excellent. Yeah, I just got sucked right into it. I was not one for sci-fi. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what we watched. When we started watching it, we never watched it when it was on TV.
We
Yeah.
were raising kids. We didn't really even have that time. So we just did like 2-3 a day. Like loving it.
and that's
Absolutely.
yeah,
You
that's
get-
one of those shows that like it's good to watch on Netflix, because if you were watching it live when it was coming on, you're like, oh my god, I gotta wait next week.
Yeah, it used to be very difficult, and then especially too, like sometimes they would have like the 2-week breaks, and then they started doing those half seasons. So like they would do some episodes, and then all of a sudden you're waiting like about 4 or 5 months before the next set. They used to piss me off so bad. Yeah,
And there's
Yeah.
and I
You forget what was going on before by the time you see the next one, right?
exactly.
You miss the date when it starts, and you miss the because they were doing it all little. That's what drives.
Yeah.
now the one thing
Little
I
episodes,
never
too.
got into was the webisodes, like between I was like season 3 when they're like
Yeah,
on
they're
a
like little 2
spoiler
minute,
alert or
3
whatever.
minute bits. I mean, like they really, and they like were in relation to the story.
It was in the same
but,
world,
I mean,
right?
Yeah, but there was nothing really fabulous about it or nothing like that. There was no like, anything got revealed or, it was just kind of
okay.
like, here's a little taste just
Yeah.
to keep you happy and keep
Yeah.
you from stopping from
Shut the
bitching
fans up.
online or whatever. But yeah, it was just pretty much just a little taste and not anything.
Anything that kind of
Yeah.
I never got the webisodes. I'm pretty sure they're online. I'm pretty sure I could find them, but
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They,
'Cause I-
they still have them right on Sci-Fi, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they still have all that stuff. So
yeah, I got to go back and revisit, because I never I saw season 1 and 2, 3 I kind of saw a couple episodes, and 4 I never watched. So I promise you I'll
right.
watch it.
oh, you promise.
You two were dating.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it.
Okay. No. It's a shared experience. And actually, Netflix is about to start a campaign where they're branding it Netflix cheating, when your partner starts watching shows before you and so like it's like 57% of couples have Netflix cheating.
Things. And it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You get going.
It's like, you're already on season 2.
you have to wait.
So you way to lock it, right? So a spouse can
Spousal lock.
you can lock the season down. Right?
It's like those old submarine movies. You both have to turn the key at the same time to get the episodes. Turn your key, sir.
There's an idea.
Sure.
Spouse lock. Like there's kids lock and now spouse lock.
You know what else is coming up on Netflix?
Oh, and
Arrested Development this Sunday.
and Jen is a
You guys-
die-hard Arrested
You've
Development
never seen
fan.
it. I highly recommend it. You got Netflix. It's on there. They just paid to do. They did 13 episodes, and they're talking about they're going to be doing a movie. So like these episodes are supposed to be leading up to a movie, but that's definitely a great watch. I mean, like that was a show that got canceled after 3 seasons, but I think what happened there was that it was just like one of those shows that was so brilliant, but it was before its time.
Yeah.
I mean,
People
like,
actually had to think to watch it. I think.
yeah, the people involved in the whole
I didn't see
thing.
it, but I saw what you're talking about. Good Morning America had them all on there or whatever, and they were talking about it and about the one season, like you're just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, people were saying that they got it on Netflix, and it was addicting for them to watch on Netflix, and it got canceled before its time.
Yeah.
So Netflix started to see that popularity, and they picked it up, and they funded the whole thing. I mean, like they've been doing their own independent series at this point. So you got like things like House of Cards and
Yeah,
I can't really think of any other ones.
I mean, that's like it's smart to do a thing, and they're starting the business plan of just putting the whole season online instead of making you wait. Because I think that's how people watch TV now. It's smart enough to know their audience.
They actually have an advertisement with Tobias Funke, who's the one that always comes out, like, he says things, but always comes out totally sounding, like, horrible. And it says on the poster, you can do us back to back. So, for all 13 episodes.
That's the David Cross guy, right?
Cute.
The guy with the glasses?
Yeah, David Cross's character, just, the never nude.
Yeah.
Blew myself guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he used to wear the Pum Pum shirts.
Yes.
Well, I think if you're a fan of, like, I would say the closest thing to it is like a Seinfeld or a Curb Your Enthusiasm, where there's little jokes here and there, and then every episode, all the jokes kind of culminate into one big, it's always some big misunderstanding or something like that. But that's kind of what I get from, because I didn't watch it when it first came out either. I caught it when they used to have it on the IFC channel, where it's like brilliant but canceled. That's how I caught it. Oh, that's the independent film channel. But they have like original programming and stuff like that. So on like Sunday nights, they had a thing called Brilliant But Canceled, and it was like My So-Called Life and
that was brilliant, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to Arrested Development, and so that's how, like I said, I caught up. I was so behind the times, I didn't catch up on Arrested Development until like 2006, like way after it came
but
out.
you're in for that ride. I mean, like.
Oh no, I'm ready.
probably
I'm
happening
coming
this
to your
week.
house and I'm grabbing that Netflix. We're gonna be sitting right next to each other and shushing each other. No, Arrested Development's on. It's like we can pause it.
That's a show that, like, I've watched it all the way through already 3 times, and I've picked up starting to watch it again, but I'm probably have to start over to catch you up. So, but anyhow, every time I watch it, I still, like, catch something new. I mean, like, there's one particular episode that they do. It's Peer Pressure, and it's one where, like, Michael is I'm sorry, not Michael, it's George Michael. He's gonna buy weed for his uncle and everything. And then Job and Michael are gonna stop it by staging something and all that. And I mean, like, you just picking up lines and stuff like that in the background that you just don't hear. I mean, like, there's just so much like brilliant acting going on, like right in the front and in the back. And you just, I mean, it's real easy. Just even though you've watched it before, it's still very enjoyable.
Because George Michael, that's the Michael Cera character.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
and that's a show that discovered Michael Cera. I mean, that's all the movies that he's made since, and that's. I wasn't familiar with him at all before Arrested Development. Michael Cera?
No.
He was like
No, I
Nick
had no
Pilgrim
idea
versus
who
the
he
World and Super Bad and yeah, he was a kid. And then there's kind of like not really spoilers, where he kind of has a crush on his cousin. Is that his cousin or his sister?
Yeah, it's his cousin.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's it's kind of it's a little dark, it's a little twisted, but it's definitely entertaining.
It's brilliant. I mean, like, there's just no other real word for it except for just brilliant. I mean, they were definitely ahead of their time, and it's great TV. And the people they got, I would totally take the time to check it out. It's not wasted time at all.
Okay, so we're not going to hold you up. So
thank
you, Barbara and Chris,
really
for
nice
coming on our show.
Yes, thank you. Good luck to you and finding some good stuff here.
I got you. Got to indoctrinate them.
Also, as we're giving Netflix a whole mess of plug.
Yeah, right? Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. Actually, the Arrested Development thing is what got me to get the Netflix on there. I mean, Lou and Jess, they were asking me for it for probably about 2 months. I was listening to the whole, like, we want Netflix and everything. I'm all like, no, we're not going to buy programs for the Wii and everything. All of a sudden, that announcement comes out. It's like, they're going to remake Arrested Development. And I was just like, done. All of a sudden, next thing I'm on the line, I'm popping in because I'm like, I gotta check out this service and everything, and they got me. So,
well, I'm assuming anybody that has anyone who listens to podcasts probably already has Netflix. Like, I mean, that's the good thing. So, like, if Netflix wants to throw us a couple bucks. This episode brought to you by.
Watching it this weekend while we're camping on my phone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'll be all staked on the trailer with the kids. My headphones.
Is it coming out? When is it coming out?
Sunday.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So right in the middle of everything. So I'll be like, the kids will be on the amusement rides, and I'll just be sitting there on my phone.
Oh, okay. Because we're going camping this. I'm going with you to a little
Darien Lake
trailer place, and there's right. It's
with
about an hour away.
Family, the adopted family we got here in town, and
now we both have to be careful because police are enforcing click it or ticket. That's
When did they stop enforcing click it or ticket?
Yeah, every week. Well, I only bring it up because it was brought up on the radio this morning.
Oh, okay.
And this, just like a public service announcement. I mean, I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's a nationwide thing, just because, it's Memorial Day weekend. People are drinking. People are out. A lot more people are hitting the road for that trip. So just, for our listeners out there, click it or ticket is going to be the big thing this weekend. They said they're starting officially enforcing it today. But I don't know.
So are they doing like roadblocks and stuff like that?
Well, they're just going to be looking out for it because you can tell. I mean, cops highway patrols they learn to see from catch little things from far away, stuff that we kind of just don't look, because just in New York State, the color of the registration, the registration. Right. Well, no,
they do it different colors every year.
Yeah, so you could just look right at it from far away and know.
See, that's what they're really doing. They're using the seatbelts, I think, as an excuse, but what they're really trying to do, they're trying to get all those tickets that they can probably get. Of course. Memorial Day weekend.
But my brother's a sergeant in NYPD, and he told me car stops are the 90% of anything. Obviously, if it's a call and you're called into something, that's one thing. But when you're just randomly enforcing stuff, it's car stops always, because obviously it's the guys with the drugs that ran through the red light or made a right on red or something like that. It's always. Car stops are 90%. It's always something nonsense that brings you to, hey, can I check your glove box? What's that weird smell? Why are your eyes all bloodshot?
Yeah, all they need is just some tiny little bit of probable cause, and they're in.
Yeah,
that they're good to go, and they can take or go through your car and everything.
So just click it or ticket.
Yeah, click it or ticket. Don't drink and drive. All that fun stuff.
And I saw a picture. They're selling a shirt online where it looks like a black stripe across your shirt, like you're wearing a white shirt but a black stripe, like where their seatbelt would be. But that's so much work. You might as well just put on your seatbelt.
So lazy. Last night we were just talking too about, remember with the webcams, when the webcams were just starting to become real popular in American households and everything. It's all new technology to all of us. Mm-hmm. And they actually had a product that it was like something that went over your head like a t-shirt, but it looked like it was a half a shirt, but it looked like a tie and you were
a shirt
wearing
with a collar and a tie.
So that way, if you were at home, sitting around in your boxers or whatever like that, doing your work, you could real quick throw this thing on and you look like you're in a professional environment.
So you could look like you're wearing a suit on your webcam.
Yeah. I don't know if they still have them or not, but I mean, I just remember them from back in the day.
Because remember the Jetsons used to do that. I mean, they used to put on the fake face, they would have their face all done up, and it was always it was George. Meet George Jetson.
Jane, Judy.
Oh, Jane Jetson. Okay. So Jane, she would put on, and it was like a face on a stick, and she would put the thing over her face because it would be like her waking up in the morning, and she's got her hair in rollers and no makeup, and so. But I guess because right now webcams didn't hit that kind of popularity. On phones, with the FaceTime and stuff like that. It's big, but it's not as big as, it's not like Jetsons yet, where people are there's no such thing as a phone call. Everything will be a face conference.
Seriously, because, if I first wake up in the morning and stuff, I don't want people to see me when I'm first waking up in the morning. My family's one thing, camera. But, outside of that, I would much rather have that time. I would rather make the call, whether or not I'm...
And then when the guys are in the club and stuff like that, they're telling their girlfriends that they're still at work. What's all those flashing lights behind you?
They're going to have to start building things for little areas.
A fake office.
Oh, that would be so messed up.
Inside the strip club.
Oh, that'd be so messed up.
And then be like, no, honey, I'm still at work, sure. So that's awesome.
Yeah. In Kristen's honor, we got to at least mention something here, is that it's National EMS Week.
Oh.
Yeah, and Kristen's not here because she got called into work.
Yeah, it was literally last night about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah. She sends me a text, and this being a monumental show, our first recording out of our usual studio and stuff like that. So today was a big day. It is a big day,
Woo,
and ooh, and hopefully, more people will come out.
You've done some footwork on this and everything.
Oh, yeah.
To get it rolling and all that. It's a pretty big accomplishment.
And we have, we would like it where, if people want to come down and talk, that's like us. I want to once again thank Chris and Barb because, it's kind of stuff like that where we can just chat up some people and see what's going on, see what they're here for. You know what I'm saying? And it's always, and I do have to say it is really, really nice and comfortable back. And I mean, it's like 84 outside right now, and it's cool back here. Thank God.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sweating up a storm during a podcast, but
yeah, everything will come together. Like, initially you might have a kink or two or whatever. Like when we had to start over at first for a second.
I unplugged my headphones and I forgot that I was going to get feedback.
It happens. But I mean, like, little kinks like that, you'll figure it out and then you get your groove and then it just comes second nature, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem very welcoming here. They seem very happy. It seems like a very good win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, I guess we're podcast official now. You and I.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
So,
we already got railroaded by everybody this weekend. So,
yeah, we've been seeing each other and I kind of said, should we make it Facebook official? But, there's people online that as soon as you make it Facebook official, like everyone's kind of, and you don't,
My family becomes rather concerned, and I have concerned in quotes. Not necessarily concerned like they think it's a bad thing or whatever like that, but, they, just everybody, we all keep up on each other and everything. And then all of a sudden something like that comes on and it's like, then what happened to my last boyfriend was that like he all of a sudden got barraged with like Facebook requests from people that, he never met them, but he can tell the connections through me and through the, my extended family and everything. And, I just wanted to be able to at least have my parents be able to say like, yeah, we've met him and, he's a nice guy,
because your friends bombarded me this weekend. Like, you walked away for a moment. And obviously, I mean, we were sitting there, we're holding hands and stuff like that. And your friends are like, so, Chris, are you and Jenna Item?
Well, they never asked. Okay, like for, two friends did ask earlier, Tara and Cindy. Like, they called me over and real quick whisper. They're like, what's going on? And I said, yeah. And they said, they're like, yeah, right on. And that was that, and life goes on. But, I mean, like, my other friends, though, they didn't actually come right out and ever ask me about it or nothing. I mean, like, they, I didn't necessarily hide it either. I mean, we were talking about some other stuff and we got this trip going on and there was a party going on that we were, concerned about. And there's other things going on in all of our lives right now that we were focusing on as far as our conversation time and everything. Plus also, I mean, like with me finishing up school, it became very limited how much conversation time I was having with everybody.
Yeah, you were busy. And you're about to graduate.
But I think it's funny that they kind of like asked you.
They waited right to you walk away. All they had to
do was just Jen.
I mean, and I'm
I don't lie to
I'm friendly with them and everything like that. And then kind of just like, boom. So Chris, are you guys an item? Yeah. And I was like, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, yeah. It was one of those things just like straight out of the blue, like because it was literally just because people were hanging out around a bonfire, hanging out. It was the sun's already down, but you got the warmth from the fire, and people are running out to the woods and grabbing twigs and stuff like that. And it's just like
other people are heading over to an RIT party, bringing the Irish Mexican.
Oh yeah, so we were down the road from our party. This particular weekend, RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, kids were graduating. So where your friends live, it's a town of not a town. I mean, especially like their block. There's a lot of where kids, where you'll have 5 guys in a house or 10 guys in a house. And I remember the first time I was ever trying to go to that house, I didn't have the numbers right, and I saw a house with a bunch of cars pulled out in front of it, and so I said, oh, okay, here's where the party is. So I pull up, and the front door was kind of locked, but I could hear people in the backyard, and I could hear music playing. And I could have, now mind you, the place where I'm going is your friends that are a married couple with kids. And I see like posters on the wall where like, like it's the Gemini, like the astrological signs but they're all like in sex positions and stuff like that. So I was like, what's going on? And I hear, a bunch of dudes and it was a bunch of drunken, I mean, I don't know if they were frat guys, but definitely college age, and, I don't know. We're in a family friendly place, so I don't want to say what they said, but they were throwing knives at each other. Like they were like playing a game where they were like, oh no, that's what it was they were playing quote unquote chicken. Yeah. And trying to see who would stand there and who would stand there while another person threw a knife at the floor, like in front of their feet. And,
because like geniuses from RIT getting this, I mean,
because drunk guys with knives, drunk guys throwing knives is such a great idea.
To go to RIT, the type of, I mean, they're getting a top notch education there and everything. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, why wouldn't you want to just sit there and throw knives at each other? Probably when you're wasted, but That's college, I guess.
Parents here.
So I hear.
Your dollars at work.
I had a little bit of a different experience, but I mean, then again, too, I went back after a while. So, it took me 3 years to do this degree, but part of that was that I had a baby in the process here. So that, ended up slowing down the degree process a bit, but, yeah, I'm June 1st.
Yeah, you're graduating.
Yeah.
Very proud of you for that.
Back into the real world.
And one of the things I mentioned before the show, I kind of like ran down a list of stuff. And, you're looking to go into, your own business.
Well, I do have my own business.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm
yes.
sorry. Not look. I mean.
Yes, which is Simply Perfect Weddings.
Simply Perfect Weddings.
Simply
Did I mess that up?
No,
Okay.
no. Actually, you get my website, so that's good. I mean,
Okay.
because, you get the website. If anybody's going to go to the website, they're going to figure out, oh, okay, here it is.
The website is
RochesterPerfectWeddings.com.
Rochester Perfect Weddings. Okay.
That's
I didn't want to say it wrong.
Yeah, RochesterPerfectWeddings.com. Weddings is plural. But yeah, and it's Simply Perfect Weddings. I'm on Facebook too, if you want to find me there. And basically what it is I myself am a wedding officiant, but also a wedding vendor agent. So we have everybody on board. I mean, a whole team. We got singers, we got piano players, we got DJs, photographers, photography artists, which goes beyond the photographers, everything, anything you need, even the things that you wouldn't think of too, like bridal party coordination or groom's party coordination.
No, and you've officiated.
Oh yeah,
a few weddings.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Is,
I mean, like the first one was Tara and Jamie, which are close friends of mine, which is how this whole thing got rolling. I mean, they were having a hard time finding somebody to marry them that would marry them first on their date, and second that if there's a lot of ways where you're getting married where like ministers and stuff like that, they won't marry you for certain reasons. I mean, maybe it has to do with religious, maybe. Yeah. So they were having a difficult time finding somebody who was willing to actually marry them, and not for any reason. They just they don't really belong to a church or anything like that. So.
Yeah, it's hard. Because the churches, they come out with their hands stretched out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean nothing abnormal about it. They're normal Joe Schmoes, and that's the point where they got into. So I cracked the joke, too bad I ain't like friends. I get ordained and get married, you guys, ha ha ha, And then she was just like, a little bit later, well, why not? Why can't you? And we just got talking about it a little bit back and forth. And I'm like, all right, let me look at it, And I looked at it and saw how to do it and everything, got into it. And, just pretty much, yeah. So I did their wedding. Their wedding was last year in August and everything. And then,
And you did a same sex?
Not yet. I want to.
Oh, okay.
I'm very much, definitely,
letting people know, hey.
Same-sex marriage, definitely. I'm for it.
You're not.
I'm not shy about it either. I mean, I'm definitely for it. I'm actually looking forward to having a same-sex wedding just because I do feel so passionately about the issue. One of my best friends happens to be gay, lifelong best friends, and I've seen, what it has been like for him, growing up, and I mean, in high school it was, he was not out, but I mean, he did still receive some kind of, I would say, bottom bullying. I mean, nobody was really too cruel, but I mean, enough. I mean, kids can be mean and everything, and so and then just also, I mean, just seeing what other people have gone through over the years and everything like that. It's very much an issue that I feel passionately about. Love is not about gender. Love is about love, and that's what it should be about. And I'm sorry, but if people want to form families and it happens to be same-sex families, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
All different.
I'm all
family
for it
is family.
Yeah, it's family, exactly.
Yeah.
A partner is a partner, and that's basically long and short of. How you guys doing? How you How you doing? You looking for anything in particular, or?
Yeah, I was looking for one of the Gamora Guardians of the Galaxy posters.
Oh, okay.
It was in 29, but it does not seem to be in 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So did you guys see Iron Man 3?
Yes. I actually, it was the first time I've ever had, nerd rage after a movie.
Oh, okay.
Nerd rage?
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever gone into a comic book movie and just, what the fuck, man? So bad.
Wow.
Why did I pay money for this?
You were just mad that Abe didn't have their beekeeper suits.
Listen, bro.
Today.
Afterwards, I was just what happened here? And then, I got over it, but I was just like, geez.
What made you so angry?
They changed extremists from just being you're the internet to it just regrows your limbs and your human thermite. Great. And then there was no MODOK. There was no... There's no real... It also gives you an ending, like you were telling, it gives you an ending to a story that, you didn't know you wanted.
This is...
Yeah.
It's like a third act.
Spoiler alert.
No second or first acts. It wraps up the story of Tony Stark not being Iron Man anymore, which is not present in 1 or 2.
Gotcha.
We're just giving stuff, but it was an entertaining movie though.
Yeah.
No, see, I found it very entertaining, but like I'm not into the whole comics thing, so like a lot of what you were just saying there, and you were like, this is what pissed me off, that pissed me off. I was like, okay, well, yeah, I don't give a shit about that, so I can understand why he's feeling different about it than I am.
Most of the time, I don't care. For some reason, I just thought it was like, oh.
And I was really, no, spoiler. I really was looking more for a transition towards like the Guardians of the Galaxy or something.
I was expecting that to be the after credits, the way they were
He was
showing
too.
off the Star Boost
I remember
armor.
you talking a lot about
like,
that.
Oh, look at this really cool Star Boost armor, guys. Like, look at this figure. Look at this. It's in this game. Get hyped for Star Boost. And then they're like, oh, by the way, no, there's no Guardians of the Galaxy or anything.
Yeah, I thought it'd be something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rocket Raccoon walks into a screen or something like that, you know?
Just in space, just floating there because he got hit by a meteor or something, and the Guardians are just like, oh, it's this.
Yeah.
And then Rocket's just like, oi, mate. And then just kicks him, and then you're done. And that's it. You're like, all right.
Yeah, because at least that would be CGI. It's not like you have to give yourself over to a character. Yeah, exactly. Rocket Raccoon, so it's just, I was kind of, I'll be honest with you, like I said, once in spoilers, I kind of missed that. I kind of was expecting something like that, and, it's a therapy session.
Have you seen the Ant-Man test footage?
Yeah, where he runs up on the gun and stuff like that, and
They, Edgar Wright did test footage for Ant-Man.
yeah.
Ooh, so he's gonna direct.
Yeah, he's gonna direct Ant-Man.
Yeah. So, and there's test footage where, from what I understand, it's not going to be in the movie, but just stuff that they were kind of, and they're showing him, and well, I don't want to spoil it, but it's kind of, one cool part is this guy's shooting, and you see him shrinks down to Ant-Man size, running up like the top of the gun, like the 9mm, and it's just like, the grooves are,
Like the size manipulation mid combat is like he's like little, grows, punches him in the face, like shrinks again. It's awesome.
Yeah, they just said it was test footage just to kind of get the idea, so people can see what it looks like, and you could hear the room, because it's obviously it's a someone with their cell phone in the room where they probably weren't supposed to have their cell phone, but the room just went nuts when which I'd be one of those people. Yeah.
It's all YouTube. It's all over YouTube. Check the tube.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been out too long now. So, but when they shut down one thing, something else is going to pop up. So, yeah, I'm like
They're
jazzed.
also filming in South Africa right now for Avengers 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Filming in South Africa. What hero could they be introducing?
And Wesley Snipes just got out of jail.
But like it was to the point that like no one could be in the same room as Wesley Snipes because he's such an asshole.
Oh,
like Blade Trinity, like the last movie. So many of his scenes, like if you watch the movie, it's shot really strangely. Whenever Wesley Snipes is with someone else, there's never a scene where he's really with like Patton Oswalt's characters or the what were the Night Stalkers. He's never with them.
Triple H or
He's never with those people in the same shot, and it's because he was so unbearable to work with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I only come out between 8 and 6. If you don't like it, deal with it. And it's like you're needed for this shot. No, I don't do retakes. It's like, all right, fine, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. And because of that, like, no one wants to do it.
Oh, okay. So I said it as a joke because he recently just got out of jail, and I'm like,
You want like a Jaimin Hansu, the dude from
okay, yeah. And Amistad, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
That dude.
Oh my God.
Awesome for Black Panther.
Well, and the reason I brought up Wesley Snipes is because isn't Black Panther a little older? Like,
it depends on how they want to do it. If they want to do like his dad just died, young prince taking up the mantle of his father's legacy.
There you go.
Like a younger dude.
Gotcha.
Which could be good.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to go for a younger person anyway, just because the youth audience.
S.H.I.E.L.D. as well is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I saw the commercial, and there's a S.H.I.E.L.D. trailer for ABC, and I didn't want to spoil it, so I'll just keep my mouth shut about that.
But the show doesn't do well. It's like 8 Joss Whedon series that have just been canceled. I love them too much or whatever.
Yeah, he's overlooking it, so I think it's going to be, I think they're going to do a little.
Just cancel it.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
they do it to Joss Whedon all the time. Oh, dude, your show's got really good legs and movies in production. Fuck it, we'll cancel it.
Yeah.
Episode 12, whatever, bro. You don't need more to tell that story. It's fine. Nobody wants Dollhouse.
I try to watch Dollhouse. I love the idea. I couldn't. The execution was kind of. I don't know. It's just. Yeah. Any reason to see Eliza Dushku?
What's your guys' names?
Oh.
What's your names?
Swing.
Nice to meet you guys.
Swing?
Chris,
Okay,
Jen.
Swing and Alex and Chris Jen. We're recording a podcast, and it's Two Strangers, One Podcast. That's the name of the show, and we're from. We've just. We're like, this is like episode 109 or something like that. But this is our first show. We're actually like not. I asked Andy. I was like, can we use the back room to record? So it was.
What's it about? What do you guys cover? Just like.
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, pop culture. Like I'm the comics guy, and then our usual co-host, she's kind of like the Kardashians and
Strangers, so. the Kristen who's usually here, she's kind of like the one that's into like all this
like reality TV and stuff like that. But it's you got to cover the gamut. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff that I'm ashamed that I know about.
Yeah.
Like, dude, did you watch this show last week? Yeah, I can't believe that bitch slapped the other one. It was great.
And it's like
the table was awesome.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love nerdy podcasts, quote unquote, but some of the stuff even goes over my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and it's like, how could you expect people to get into it if you're way, way over someone's head? Like,
Weird
dude, and it's just so that's kind of like our deal. It's kind of like our, meeting in the middle, coming from two different sides of the field,
So you guys just do like comic reviews or?
It's sort of just talking anything, you know what I'm saying? I mean, earlier we were talking about, Click It or Ticket, saying along with, and then earlier we had a couple other people earlier were talking about Doctor Who and stuff like that. But, I try to keep it middle of the road. I mean, I'll be the nerd representative, but I want to make it as accessible as possible. Trying to be funny.
So this is the new home.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen this whole season.
Okay. So I don't watch Doctor Who, but I know like the lore of it because I thought that was interesting. It's like, okay, there's 13 resurrections. That's it. That's all he gets. 13 new lives.
Oh.
That's how when it was originally a Time Lord can be reborn 13 times. He is the last one. So after they switch actors 13 times, they have nothing left. They cannot go back. I don't want to spoil the new the season finale for you.
Oh, okay.
But they kind of just were like,
spoiler alert.
we were just like, and we got like, fuck it, we'll just add something.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of shortening the length of the show. Maybe I don't know where they're gonna go if they're gonna bullshit it more. But like the way this finale went was really interesting and had a really cool dynamic. I'm all set.
Oh, okay. So actually, yeah, we do got to take a break. Have a good day. And we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Cordero Ulloa, co-founder of the Live and Lame Podcast Network. Before you start this LLPN podcast, I wanted to show you listeners out there what else we have to offer here on the network. If TV and movies tickle your ear pussy, then check out Real Chat with Seth Parker, Alex Chittenden, and Cordero Ulloa. They cover news, casting rumors, trailers, and reviews, all with the excitement you'd expect out of a bunch of pop culture nerds. Just visit www.watchsomething.podbean.com. You can also get to know Chris Colon and Kristen Montrallo as they get to know each other on Two Strangers, One Podcast. Listen as these guys talk about celebrity gossip and reality TV, as well as interviews with George Christic, the creator of popular Disney cartoon Megas XLR, and Mike Zapsik and Ming Chen of AMC's Comic Book Men. Look for them at www.twostrangersonepodcast.com. If music is what you're looking for, check out The Breakdown, which features members of the Live and Lame Podcast Network talking about the artists, the tunes, and the albums that they enjoy and grew up with. You can check that out at www.rockhardpodharder.podbean.com. Interested in astrology, numerology? Join Joey Fox, Carrie Fox, and Foxy D in the Fox Den, where they talk about life, kids, and family, all infused with the brand of humor you've come to expect from us here at the LLPN. Enter the Fox Den at www.thefoxden.podbean.com. And last but not least, check out the granddaddy that started it all, Livin' Lame, featuring Dwight Graham, Cordero Ulloa, Joey and Carrie Fox, Seth Parker, Nick Doty, and Megan Phelps. Join the Lames every week as they talk about whatever the hell they want, from comics, games, and headlines to weekly segments such as Lame of the Week, Nude News featuring Mike Hawk, and FML with Seth Parker and Megan Phelps. You can prowl the lameness of the interwebs with the Lames at www.liveandlame.podbean.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at @liveandlame. You can find all of our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Internet Radio, which is a free app available to both Android and iOS users. You can also listen to your standard phone browser by adding /mobile to the end of any of our URLs. You can also find and like the pages for all of our podcasts on Facebook, as well as the Live and Lame Podcast Network page, which is the headquarters for all the Live and Lame Network podcasts on Facebook. Please don't forget to hover over the like button and click Show Newsfeed so you can see all of our updates. All of us here at the network would like to thank you for your continued listenership. Now please enjoy this Live and Lame Podcast Network podcast.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers.
Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. You can leave the pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-n-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase. And we're back.
From Chris's Nerd Out show, man, you are just here and nerding out.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I wanted to come up and record at a store, so I could actually talk to people and like kind of get their vibe, because that's man on the street kind of stuff where because I mean we both enjoyed Iron Man 3. I mean I understand I did see kind of glaring problems with it, but I just so excited, so I was kind of. But it's nice to see, you get another taste of like people like, oh no, that's, here was something wrong and here something like that. So,
yeah,
so, I mean, we were kind of 8 minutes past the whole, break part, but I'm pretty sure the Click and Hit people won't mind. Okay, we were talking about...
Well, we were talking about, National EMS Week. So, think an EMS worker, buy them a coffee or something, give them some candy.
Because, EMS, I've been, I'm so used to, from New York City, like EMS, you call EMS, and it's not their fault. They're just so busy that, like, it does take, like, a half an hour to get to your house and stuff like that. And I had, I don't know if I told you this, I have EMS training. Well, EMT training. Yeah. EMS is EMS usually refers to like the people who actually work for the city. The people who work for the private companies, it's a little, they really, well, I'm used to the derivation where, if you work for a private corporation, you're an EMT. If you work for the city or the county or something like that, you're EMS.
Yeah.
So, I actually had training back in 96 to 98, my certification. And, I think everybody should go out, at the very least take a CPR class or something like that, just because that's some kind of knowledge that you could
need
always...
in a split second. I mean, like, it's the kind of thing that you don't want to have to use, but at the same time, you do need to have it if you do.
Because the worst thing in the world is to feel helpless when something bad is going on.
That's true.
And CPR is so, like, I don't want to say, it's not easy. I've actually performed CPR on someone and kept them alive until the real EMS people got there. And don't get me wrong, your adrenaline is pumping, and and I'm a big guy, and to be hunched over and pumping and breathing and all that other stuff, your adrenaline kicks in, and then till the quote unquote professionals show up, it's always good to learn, and learning that stuff. And when I was a EMT, New York State, well, at the time, and back in 96, they required you to work 2 shifts in an emergency room, just so you can get a taste of what's going on. So, I was actually hanging out with there were some firefighters that showed up, because in New York City, firefighters are quote also first responders. Like, even if it's something that has nothing to do with a fire, they will show up anyway, just because they're trained in, they merged fire department and EMS. So those guys, they show up anyway when there's stuff going on. So they were there in the emergency room, and I was talking about, I was doing CPR on somebody. I was doing CPR on a dummy, and my trainer goes, "Duh, congratulations, you broke their ribs." But the firefighters say it ain't CPR until you break a rib. You know what I'm saying? When you got a big guy like me or something like that, you got to put pressure. You know what I'm saying? Your job is to try to get that heart pumping and, move blood, because the valves are set up where the pressure on the chest will get the blood moving.
Okay.
A big guy like me, you gotta, you gotta step on my chest, step on it, because I want to live. You know what I'm saying? Would you rather have a broken rib that leads to a punctured lung but still alive?
Right.
Or no broken ribs and dead? So it's kind of, it's not CPR until you break a rib.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, though. You definitely want to make sure you have that knowledge. But definitely very appreciative to all the people who do take on that task.
Oh, yeah. A big thank you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing I can understand if people don't like cops or they don't like this. But EMS, those people are really neutral. Like you know what I'm saying, like they show up and I feel so bad for like when you're EMS in like in a bad neighborhood or something like that where
it doesn't even take a bad neighborhood. I mean, look at what happened in Webster over Christmas. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, here in Rochester, the guy was
why the whole outpouring was so emotional and everything, because I mean they are so neutral. I mean, it's not good when you see a cop. Everybody does get upset too when you see a cop get shot or whatnot, but I mean, like, it just seemed to kind of make more of an impact because it was emergency
service
responders.
Yeah, and just to let people know, it was on Christmas Day here in Webster, which
Christmas
is right. I believe
it was right. It was the Christmas time. I remember it was definitely Christmas time.
I'm like 99% sure. And the responders, this guy was obviously not in his right mind. He had a gun and he was shooting the EMS workers that were showing up. And actually, Kristen was part of the second wave, of people that were showing up there. And by the time she got there, I mean, the cops had told them, now here you are, you're there to save people's lives. And now, you can't save anyone if you're shot at, you know what I'm saying? So, EMS, they always tell people first, take care of yourself first. You can't help somebody if you're out of it. Because, one of the things, if you come across, you walked into a room and someone's passed out, well, you also have to keep in mind, why is that person passed out? Maybe there's some sort of gas in the room, maybe, saying you have to, before you just run in and you see a person on the ground, you have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? What if they got electrified or, I always say, because people always get that wrong. When someone says someone's electrocuted always implies that they died because of the, electrocution means dead. Do you need to leave or?
No, not yet. Okay. I looked at soon. I mean, because, I'm going to have to go get the kids.
Yeah, we got like 15 minutes. I mean,
we got like 15 minutes. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, so just, when you see EMS person, say thank you. It's like our soldiers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one thing. I mean, cops, unfortunately, there are a bunch of bad apples that spoil the bunch. And I could see, cops, obviously if you walk around, you have a target on your back when you're a cop, but EMS, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're there just to save a life. And, and I can only imagine, going into a building where, there's no elevator, you know what I'm saying? And someone's on the top level and
as everybody else is running out, they're the ones running in. Just like you saw 9/11 and everything like that. You saw the barrage of people running out, of course, but all the firefighters and
the firefighters, the emergency service
they
people,
were all running in and
And then, those, at any given moment, debris and all this other stuff could come flying down the street and, they're there helping people. And so, a big
kudos to them.
Big thank you.
I mean, like, genuinely and sincerely, big kudos.
Now,
all right, I got one for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
You ready for this one?
Jen's brought topics.
I brought a couple of them with me. Such as, would you like to know how our federal government is spending $400,000?
$400,000.
$400,000.
They bought 8 hammers.
Decided to allocate it towards. Are you ready for it? Smoke detecting underwear.
Yes. Smoke detecting underwear.
Smoke detecting underwear. $400,000 has been allocated to the University of Alabama. Yes.
I'm sorry.
And I knew you get a kick out of this one. So yes. What it's for is it's actually to monitor smoking habits.
To monitor smoking habits.
Personal smoking habits.
Do people smoke that much that it's detected in their underwear?
Well, apparently. Okay, here's the deal. Ready? What it is it's supposed to eliminate the need for people to have to self-report how much they're smoking. So it's basically to have accuracy on how much a person is actually smoking, because the underwear is designed, there's a sensor in the waistband. And then you got to wear a bracelet too.
Oh, okay.
So the waistband apparently monitors the inhale, and the bracelet, the hand to mouth motion. So the two work together. So it's all for reporting and accuracy. But the way I see it too, I mean, and I smoke, okay? That's my problem. And if I'm going to get into some kind of quitting smoking program and then I'm going to sit there and try and alter the results, I mean, obviously I'm not in the program.
Yeah, if you need your underwear to monitor
$400,000.
Oh, God
thank
bless
you, government.
America. Your tax dollars
Yes, absolutely. So I just thought I'd bring that to everyone's attention. I thought it was funny. And then they've spent the $400,000 and now they're determining how much more they want to allocate towards this project. Yeah, so there's going to be more. Yeah, we're not done yet, because apparently they've been able to figure it all out and everything, but they're too bulky.
Oh.
People don't want to wear them.
Oh, well, obviously anyone who has a smoking problem, they're not going to wear underwear that's going to tell on them. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I know you said the waistband, but I just, when you think of underwear, like, I don't want to be the person that has to like get the underwear for the results, like, because I'm pretty sure it has to be connected to some sort of computer or something.
I would hope that maybe
I'm hoping it's a wireless deal.
They didn't say, like, I did read the article, but I mean, like, I'm hoping it's something that maybe like there's special underwear and then you put the thing in there. So I'm hoping.
The skid mark detector.
Oh God, no.
Yellow in front, brown in back.
Wow.
This person eats too many burritos.
This is gonna.
That's the last thing you need is underwear. The last thing you need is your underwear telling on you. That's not right. There's so many things wrong with that.
There should be other things the underwear should be telling on, not that. Just saying.
He is excited.
If you're gonna.
He gets morning wood.
Oh Lord. Do you know where he was last night?
Oh, that'd be the. Let me smell your
underwear in the divorce courts and stuff. I could see it right now.
He got some stanky on his hang low.
Well, Facebook. I mean, like that's I just did that one paper. Facebook, they're saying at this point has been directly accounted for by like records on divorce cases and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
They're saying that divorce rates have gone up 80% since Facebook, and 20% is like directly related to like the way that somebody conducted themselves on Facebook. Or Facebook was somehow utilized into the whole thing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be even cheating. Like there was one example they gave about like it was the way one person was projecting themselves on Facebook that they declared that an irreconcilable difference because they couldn't come to terms on how the person should be conducting. Like he or she, I don't know, thought they should be conducting themselves one way. The spouse thought another way. They just couldn't come to terms. On this.
And I've been in these shoes where, like, when we were discussing this weekend, where someone will say, like, if you're in a relationship with someone, how come you haven't changed your status?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And now here's
I don't advertise my status. Like I haven't had a status on my Facebook in over a year, well over a year, and I've been fine with that actually because I don't get most of the time I don't get the assholes contacting me like like oh hey baby, and that they're just pretty much just trying to hook up with whoever's going to be interested for that night. Whoever sends the interest back, they'll be like, why don't you come over? Or can I come over there? No,
Yeah, my thing is, I don't think the amount of people have changed. Just Facebook just puts your public out there. You know what I'm saying?
I think it makes it easier.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like the same people were cheating, 30 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Men were dogs and they had their gumads and their side pieces and whatever word you want to use. it's just now with Facebook, it just puts your business out there a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's
they definitely infidelity, which I don't know. One of my ways of coping with certain things is like to research the shit out of it. You know what I mean? And get to know as much as I can. And one of the things I learned about infidelity was that I forgot how exactly they set up the study. I mean, I'm talking years ago that I read this, but they had gotten so many couples. I believe the number was 200, and they were couples that had been married anywhere from 5 to 15 years. That was the time frame. And they asked them a series of questions, and part of it also had to do with their commitment. And they actually determined that 70% of those relationships had infidelity in them, even though the couples were still together. So, I mean, it definitely is something that is always been going on and everything. That I think that Facebook just makes it a lot easier for somebody to make a stupid choice.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes right down to it, it's the person and their irresponsible actions.
Yeah. I'm not totally blaming. You have to act on that kind of problem, but
yeah, exactly. And if they're not and that's the thing too, man. If they don't do it on Facebook, they're probably going to do it somewhere else.
Exactly,
supermarket or whatever.
The
I mean,
gym,
it doesn't really. Yeah, exactly. Wherever
people meet, just anywhere. I mean, the gym is like kind of that's like the one place I could think like where people will try to hook up. You know what I'm saying? The club, and that's like it always felt kind of weird. Like
I hate the clubs.
I know you said
reason.
because I don't understand like clubs. Like once you're in like some sort of committed relationship, I don't get the because to me the clubs always seem you're going to the club to meet someone to hook up. Once you've hooked up.
Sometimes, I mean, then there's times like with
I guess because I'm not a dancer
and stuff, I mean, like I'm not a dancer either, but I mean, like there's when I have gone to clubs, most of the time I'm going to socialize. I mean, like it's not even a hook up; it's just to socialize, and that's because I mean I'm in the house. I got the 3 kids. Our conversation kind of goes to the extent of the we and Phineas and Ferb and that kind of stuff.
Bedtimes.
Yeah, exactly, bedtimes and why they have to go to bed on a weeknight when they got school in the morning and all that fun stuff. So I mean, like come the weekend and when I'm deciding to go someplace, I mean, like most of the time too, I don't hit the clubs. I mean, like Nola's is kind of, and Pineapple Jack's is kind of the two closest that I really get to. I'm not very favorable of the nightclubs. I'm not going to mention them because I don't want to put them down. They're just personally, in my opinion, not what I like.
I mean, Nola's and Pineapple Jack's are more bars that have dance floors.
Well, they're bars and they have dance floors. Yeah, I mean, like Nola's kind of does.
I mean,
like
just
that
a straight up
flashback
club.
stuff.
I just don't
like
get
Taylor's
it.
or one or something like that, where they like Taylor's tries to give like that, like down south Miami type. They try to play it like that, but
Gotcha.
And some people dig it, some people don't. I personally happen to be one who really doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my preference and everything. But I mean, when I'm going there, I'm not looking to hook up. I'm looking to socialize. I'm looking to have some conversation with another adult.
Mm-hmm.
That's hopefully not about just potty training or whatever. I mean, just trying to kind of escape from that parent world for a minute.
Yeah, you need adult time. I get that.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's just like when you go to I don't know.
But there are a lot of people there who are looking to hook up and everything like that.
Because it's like you try to talk to someone and the music's too loud. You know what I'm saying? The drinks, I don't want to pay $8 for a drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
And have to wait for it too. I mean, most of the time you go to these clubs, and I mean, like you gotta wait because there's only it's packed, and there's only so many bartenders, and
we went to when the bar. I mean, I hung out with you on Pineapple Jack's on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness!
They should have had more bartenders that night. Grant. I mean, like normally the establish is very well. I mean, like they are usually set up very well and everything like that. I don't know what the deal was with the bartenders that night. If they had somebody call out or something like that. I'm guessing something had to have happened because it was a little surprising that on a night like that where it's St. Patrick's Day or night before.
Yeah, you would think they'd have
and
extra.
Springer. I mean, like because they know that Springer brings their own crowd.
Yeah.
They do have a little local following here, which is great. And,
because you see a lot of the same people at I've been to like 3 Springer shows now, or 2 or 3, and I've seen.
Yeah, like
I've
they
seen
go
pretty much. I see familiar
and,
faces and. But my thing is, I can't believe that that these places, I don't know how on St. Patrick's Day, a bar that has a live band playing doesn't have, it was literally 2 in the area that we were at. There were literally only 2 bartenders, because the bar in that particular area was kind of shaped like an L. So one person had one half of the L, the other person had the other half of the L, and that's it. And there were, and I just.
And patrons were bitching about it too. I mean, granted, like there was, one time when I went up there, the guy saw me up there and he realized that I was up there by myself because I had snuck in real quick, and he was just like, are you, like, how many drinks are you getting? I'm like, just one. And he's like, okay, he goes, add it onto my order. He goes, or else you're not getting it,
Okay.
And then he's like, and I just gave him the cash. Like he threw it onto his thing. When I heard him order it, then I gave him the cash for it, so. But, I mean, like, they just weren't set up that particular night very well. But, I mean, normally they are set up pretty well and everything like that. I mean, that's one of our normal establishments. I mean, like, that's the thing. They know the show that they're putting on. I mean, because it is the same show. I mean, that's kind of funny. I mean, like, when I got pregnant with Tony, which was, Tony was born in 2011. So when I got pregnant with Tony, Tony was born in 2012. Sorry. I'm talking 2011. I had like 9 months that I didn't go out, obviously, because I mean, who wants to be preggo in clubs,
I'll be the pregnant girl at the club.
It was funny because like we had gone out, like before that point, before I got pregnant and everything like that. And then I have Tony, maybe a month later we go out and I went there and I'm like, you guys, this is the same thing. I'm like, it hasn't changed a bit. I'm like, it's the same party, the same songs. I'm like, I feel like I've never left.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing though. They know what kind of show they're putting on, so they keep putting on a good show.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. They put on a great show, but it just gets a little monotonous. I don't know. And I guess since I don't drink
it is because
now,
I mean that's why we're pretty much none of us have really been going recently. But that's only I mean we're changing it all up and everything too. Summertime.
Yeah, I guess also just going out to a bar when you don't drink is kind of.
Well, hopefully I've entertained you a little bit. I mean.
Yeah, so we got about 3 minutes left.
We got about 3 minutes left.
You're about to walk out the door anyway.
I know, I feel bad, but
no, don't worry.
The show's
supposed to be an hour. So please visit twostrangersonepodcast.com. Check out our Indiegogo page. Just go to Indiegogo, INDIEGOGO. Look up Two Strangers One Podcast, the video. I guarantee you the last minute and a half of the video will make you laugh. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. If there's any particular episode you like, just share us with your friends. Even if you can't support our Indiegogo, you can't throw a couple bucks our way, just share us. It's just as well. Or share the video, share the Indiegogo video, because I've spent a lot of hard work editing that video. I'm going to be setting up real soon after June 1st our eBay page, so you can buy like comic books and and heavy metal memorabilia and VHS tapes and DVDs and all that other wonderful good stuff. We are available on iTunes. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. Just search for in podcasts, Two Strangers, One Podcast. You'll see our beautiful red, white, and blue logo. If you don't have iTunes, you can find us on Stitcher, STITCHER. That's the Stitcher app for Android devices. Let me see what else. Check out our brothers, Livin' Lame, and all the other shows on the Livin' Lame network, LIVINLAME, podcastentertainment.com. That's Livin' Lame, podcastentertainment.com. There's no G at the end of living. And that's pretty much it. We certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Jennifer.
And don't be a stranger. See ya. Bye.